What up, Chompers? Today we're playing my take on Frost Decay. This is my 9th iteration on the deck, and it took me to Legend from D5 with a record of 24-9 for a cool 72% win rate. Now you'll notice that this isn't purely a Frost deck. We play one Unholy Rune. It's not triple Frostwyrm. We don't play Frostwyrm's Fury, nor do we play Slippery Slope, because what's really good in Death Knight right now are deathrattles. Yes, this is a deathrattle deck, and what's the most powerful deathrattle in Death Knight? Reska. So we need to play an Unholy Rune. We also need to play Yelling Yodeler, Death Growl, and Brittlebone Buccaneer to double or even triple our deathrattles, leveraging our small tokens. This deck wins by exploiting two primary combos. The first involves Reska, the second involves Frostbitten Freebooter, but both are made possible by Death Growl. Now we have several ways of proliferating deathrattles. We have Death Growl and we have Brittlebone Buccaneer, so these combos are extremely flexible. We also have multiple ways of proccing deathrattles. We have Yelling Yodeler, which doubles a deathrattle, or we have just spreading deathrattles onto other minions and then killing those minions off. Reska combos are pretty obvious. Usually you're popping her out when she's pretty cheap and proccing her with Yelling Yodeler to steal 2 minions. You can also spread her deathrattle with Death Growl and then charge in your little minions to steal other minions. But I'll take a moment to explain Frostbitten Freebooter. When this deathrattle procs, it freezes 3 characters. Any that were already frozen get dealt 5 damage. This deck is at its most fun when you're comboing Brittlebone Buccaneer with Frostbitten Freebooter, a few tokens, and Death Growl to deal face damage and clear the board. You can usually deal 10 to 20 damage to face using combos of this nature, usually leveraging Horn of Winter to get everything in on the same turn. So it's part of the solution, but not the entire solution. And just a note on Glacial Shard, it's a holdover from when this was a pure Frost deck and we were really trying to freeze everything, but it's a great standalone card. It's good on 1. It's our only true 1-drop. And if you freeze their face before going off with Frostbitten Freebooter, the first proc of Frostbitten Freebooter deals 5 damage to face. So it gets your chain started. You get the rest of the way with fast early game starts and Reska combos. This deck can play brutally fast in the early game. Coining out a Brittlebone Buccaneer into a Dreadhound handler is a lot of board control, and it's a lot of stopping power, and it's just a lot of things on the board, which can allow you to get out Zilliax and just blow them out by turn 6. But this deck really wins games by executing combos in the mid game around turns 5 and 6, often with a Horn of Winter to give you more mana. Things with Brittlebone Buccaneer, Frostbitten Freebooter, Yelling Yodeler, stuff like that. And so drawing is really important. That's why we play Acolyte of Death and Crop Rotation. Not only are these good standalone cards, but they allow us to draw into our deck to find our combo pieces. A note on Frost Strike, you're usually looking for either Eliza Goreblade or another Reska. Eliza Goreblade tripled with Death Growl can be game winning on the spot. It gives your hero power a lot more punch. It makes your crop rotation able to clear huge boards. If you can Death Growl and then Yelling Yodeler on Eliza Goreblade Death Rattle, you are winning that game. This deck felt really strong into everything. The only problem in the meta right now is Warrior and specifically Unkilliax, but it is a winnable matchup. In the Warrior matchup, the first order of business is finding Reska. The second order of business is killing off a lot of minions so your Reska is really cheap. When they chemical spill on 5, you want to be able to Reska right then and steal that minion so that it can't die on their side of the board and be resurrected through Hydration Station. In practice, it's almost too early turn 5 to steal with a Reska because Reska isn't cheap enough. So what you have to do in the interim is freeze that Zilliax so that it doesn't die on their side of the board. Then you find Reska and steal it before they can kill it off. Ideally, you want to do this before turn 9 when Yogg comes down and they can steal the Zilliax back. If you don't steal their first copy of Zilliax, you're probably screwed. But I have won in those situations too by stealing their copies of Zilliax off Hydration Station with Reska and Yelling Yodeler. So it is possible, especially if you get an Eliza Goreblade, but It's hard. Mulligan guide coming up next. The mulligan for this deck is pretty fluid. Generally, you want to keep good early game cards like Dreadhound Handler or Mining Casualties, cards that clear minions on the board. But then you want to keep things that play well together. So if you've got a Dreadhound Handler, maybe it's worth it to keep that Brittlebone Buccaneer so that you can combo them together. Maybe if you've got a Brittlebone Buccaneer, it's even worth keeping a Chillfallen Baron so you can draw more cards. In the Warrior matchup specifically, you always keep Reska. I would consider keeping Reska against Death Knight as well so you can steal the Primus, but it's not necessary. And then against board flooding decks like Paladin, you want to keep Zilliax. Gameplay coming up next.
The Lich King.
All right, hardest matchup.
Submit to no one. All will serve me in death.
Hardest matchup right here. Always irritating. The trick is to find Reska. So we draw. That's weird. Don't you play Sanitize?
The citadel stands strong.
I cannot reach that.
Like here, if I'm trying to find Reska really hard. So I would like Yelling Yodeler, the 2/2. The, what is it called? Chillfallen Baron.
Shouted from the mountain tops.
I say we go to battle.
To battle.
Shit. Well, we can freeze it. Or do we... We might...
Nice to meet you.
Don't care. Like, we just want to find Reska.
I found a sea urchin.
So we're gonna draw first with the Chillfallen Baron. Try to find Reska. Crop rotation. Now we try to find Reska through Frost Strike. No Reska. Guess we could take another freebooter. Or maybe Remorseless Winter. Remorseless Winter draws us a card. We're just trying to... We don't want that Zilliax to die until we have a Reska. Okay, he's killed it. Okay. So we've lost. We've basically lost because he can Hydration Station now. But if we steal that...
Everybody, move with the camera.
Yeah, and he's gonna go infinite. So, we really don't have an option anymore.
There's room for dessert.
That's fine. That's fine.
The rules decide your fate. Unholy, symbol of death.
Scourge seems good.
Shall suffer.
Should kill that because we don't want to lose any more cards. But he's going to Hydration Station now. And there's not much we can do. We don't have a freebooter combo in hand. Oh, and he ate our Reska. Terrific. We have 9 cards in hand, so we can discover. He ate our Reska, so I need to find a Reska. Runes of Frost. Okay, there's a Reska.
Take a good look. You ain't never seen a
The Primus! The Primus!
Shouted from the mountaintops.
Unkilliax doesn't really matter now, but I'm gonna play it. Yeah, and he's gonna brawl. Something good is gonna live, though. Oh, that's good. New heights, okay. I think we just... Okay, he's looking for that hydration station. What's he gonna do? Sanitize? Yeah. So I have 12. Maybe I Scourge? Okay. So if I can steal... Oh!
The Lich King!
Gul'dan, probably a pain lock.
Your soul shall be
Might be
mine.
kind of difficult. I definitely keep Dreadhound Handler. I think with Dreadhound Handler I can keep Acolyte of Death and maybe Horn of Winter and maybe Glacial Shard? Because I can coin out the Acolyte of Death and then Horn of Winter the Dreadhound Handler on 2. And Glacial Shard fills our 1. We'll see if it's any good.
Waldos solves any problem.
I should meet you.
What's he gonna play on 2? Is he gonna tap? He taps. Interesting. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with our plot, our plan.
One more death can't hurt.
Okay. Okay. I think we play Chill Fallen Baron. Draw another card. Just getting our Reska down for his giants.
And now, the premiere act. Me!
Oh, this might be Insanity Warlock. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay, so I could Brittlebone Buccaneer into Dreadhound Handler. That feels better for Zilliax specifically.
The overture is upon us.
Okay. Interesting. So we can get this. He can probably, he's got a 3 damage crescendo. He's got a 3 damage crescendo. It would, oh, Symphony of Sins. Interesting. He can deal 6 to the board. That would be the worst for us. What's he gonna do? Draw 6 cards. Oh, he's just gonna die. Okay, I've got 6, 8, 10, 12. gonna popgar me, right? Yep. Crescendo. We're waiting for a crescendo. Maybe he's got a encroaching insanity first to kill the Zilliax. He's only had 2 ticks. I like that. Okay, we're still alive. That was not great. But he has no more crescendos. But he's got a lot of cards. He drew 6 cards. God, I wish he hadn't found Popgar. Okay.
And now the premiere.
Okay. Okay. Huh. Interesting. I guess I'm gonna steal that 7/7.
Take a good look. You ain't never seen Barry dead or alive.
Guess I'm gonna steal that 7/7. It doesn't feel that good. What's he gonna put on that? Mm-hmm. If I could get the Primus. Or something good. Something really good. Oh my god. Well, he's already used Popgar, so I'm not super worried about that. Okay, fine. Oh, Acolyte of Death is good.
One more death can't hurt.
Do I use Dead Air? Will it? This is no, that's not undead. I think I freeze that. Okay. That's annoying. Snowfall and bear. I don't really need any of that stuff. Ooh, the Primus.
Remnants of life.
I don't really like any of these options. I guess Soul Stealer. I'm tempted to take Eliza.
Lend me your bones.
How many cards does he have? 14. I have 4. But how does he kill? Does he have a Sargeras? Sketch artist. Okay, he's really working hard. Brittlebone Buccaneer. I'm gonna take Runes of Frost.
Mark of the bitter.
Skeleton Crew? No, Frost Strike. And this is 6. But I think what we're gonna do is... No, we can't crop rotation with the 2/4 on board. I want to play Eliza.
My dreadful blood. Take a good look. You ain't never seen the light again.
Shout it from the mountains. Lend me your bones.
Oh, Jesus.
On cards.
If he has another encroaching insanity, I might be dead. Okay, that's a good sign. Deal 6 to all characters. Yes. Oh, is that a tie? Tie!